Hey everyone, I'm Bill. I'm with Cali Moto TV. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Eurocycle Sonoma, where today, oh boy, today we finally have our hands on what has been years in the making. The 2021 BMW R18 is finally here, and the first edition, oh boy, BMW has done a beautiful job making this thing look absolutely beautiful. So let's do a quick walk around the bike. Let's go through all the specs on the outside of this bike. Then let's get on it, out on the open road, and see how this thing does. All right, you guys, so let's go over real quick the quick pricing spec of this particular first edition model. Now, the 2021 R18s are going to be coming in at the base price of $17,500, and the first edition special edition is an additional $2,150, and we'll kind of go over in a second what that entails. This particular one has the premium package, which is going to have the hill start assist. It's going to have the headlight pro, which is the LED, all LED headlights, and it is an adaptive headlight, so it does change just a little bit, so you can see BMW LEDs. This also has the select package, which is going to give you the heated hand grips up here and the locking gas cap, and also the anti-theft system. This particular one is equipped with the passenger peg, so it's the passenger kit. And then, of course, you have your destination and your most likely additional markup that dealers are inevitably going to put on this thing, because it's an absolutely gorgeous bike. So let's go ahead and start up at the front and talk about the front wheels. We have two options for wheels. So standard comes with the spoked 19-inch wheels. There is an additional wheel which actually looks really cool, which is a 21-inch wheel. We have standard BMW rotors and calipers on there, so that's real nice. The 1800 cc motor, geez, this thing is ginormous. 1802 cc's. The bore and stroke, just if you guys are curious, 107 millimeters by 100 millimeters. 91 horsepower total, and 116 foot-pounds of torque at just about 3,000 RPM. So super torquey. We're gonna feel that in a minute. Let's see, single stage wet clutch, hydraulic operated. So we've got our hydraulic clutch up here, which is going to make it nice and smooth. Again, back to the brakes. The brakes are standard BMW ABS brakes, front and rear. Front has the dual floating piston and the floating rotors, which is nice. And that's a dual rotor in the front. Seat height, there are about 6 different seats that you can get for this thing. This standard seat height, so basically from there to there, you're looking at 27.2 inches. I believe the full custom, or excuse me, the comfort seat is the highest at 29.5 inches, and the lowest goes down to, I believe, 26.5, so about an inch lower on the comfort. And this bike, oh boy, this bike weighs a whopping 761 pounds. What is nice is that BMW has really outfitted this thing with a lot of, obviously on the first edition, which is really nice, you've got the R18 First Edition plaque, but they've got the chrome exhaust, dual exhaust, chrome cylinder heads, chrome, chrome everything, chrome. And back over to this side, this way, give you guys another shot of this side here. And you'll notice that there's one little teeny lever right here. The bike does have reverse, so we will put that out to the test. But what is really nice about the first edition, the first edition heritage is really from a bike almost 100 years ago. And what they've done is they've kept 5 simple tasks, simple same styling, excuse me, from almost 100 years ago. The tank, that teardrop tank, the black with the white double pinstriping, the large boxer style motor, and the exhaust and everything. So they've really done a very, very good job with keeping this bike very much its heritage from the R5 over or close to 100 years ago. So I hope you guys can see the real detail of this thing, and just trying to kind of give you guys just what this thing really looks like. It's absolutely gorgeous. Coming down to what's nice, the taillights are integrated in the blinkers. So I kind of dug that on the BMW S1000R. Oh, and then also one of the other 5 things is they've kept the open shaft drive, so this all moves. So very, very cool. It's just a rad looking bike, and although it's really being compared with Harley, this is a bike of its own. I mean, you see this bike and it doesn't really compare with Harley, because this is next level. I think it's just so well put together, and they've done such a great job. I'll be honest, when I first saw the pictures of it, I wasn't too sure that I really liked how they changed the final production from their concept. But now that I'm seeing it in person, I really, really do like it. You'll see here, we've got our keyless ignition and our gauge cluster. I really, really love it. Heated hand grips are here. We have 4 modes, which we'll talk about. Our menu buttons and our hazards, blinkers, horns. We'll go over that all in the riding video. But what a gorgeous, gorgeous bike. Hopefully you guys can see the details on this, but let's get geared up and out on the road, and let's get this thing through some twisties, through some highway, and through some city, and see how it does. All right, guys, so one of your guys' biggest questions that we always get asked is my size profile compared to the motorcycle profile. So you can understand my profile. I am 6'2". I am 240 pounds with all my gear. My inseam is about 32 inches. And so what I'm going to show you is how it looks like being 6'2" with the 32-inch inseam, what it looks like on the bike. Now this bike is very low, 27.9 inches, I believe. And you can see my knees are very well bent. Foot position, so you guys can see, is kind of a little bit forward. And I'm very upright. So you guys can kind of just get a good rider profile of what I look like at 6'2", 240 pounds with a 32-inch inseam. So. All right, guys, well, here she is, the massive 1800cc R18 First Edition. Huge shout out to Zach over here at Eurocycles. Thank you guys for allowing me to have the first ride on the new R18. Now, this actually is not my first ride. This is actually my second ride on the bike. And, well, we'll get into why it's the second ride here in a minute, but let's go ahead and get this thing fired up. So power on. Everything exercises, very nice little gauge cluster. And we're in neutral. So starting the bike, you do have to have the clutch in to start the bike. But once we get started, we're nice. It's got a nice little rock to it. I love it. It's actually in rock mode, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But since we're down at a slant and this thing weighs 760 plus pounds, we're going to flip this thing right into reverse. And let's see, get it in reverse and starter button back, and we're gonna go ahead and back this big old pig up. So I've only ridden a bike that's got reverse once or twice. So all right, so switch down here basically is in forward or reverse. So now we're in forward and we're ready to roll. So I'll tell you guys a quick story real quick as we get out of here. So I was actually here last week, and got to ride this thing for the very first time. He had just gotten it in. Actually, if you look over there to the left, you'll see they actually have their second customer's bike out. And so I got to ride this thing, and I had just come out from the track, and my mic had blown out on my helmet cam, and so all the footage was garbage. So I had to come back out and ride this thing for you guys. But I don't mind, because it was really, honestly, a very nice, it's a very nice bike to ride. So I don't mind. So let's just start really with just the, you know, straight off the bat, comfort wise and position wise, seating wise. So comfort wise, comfortable as I sit here. A little bit of vibration right here. Let's go through our little, let's get our RPM gauge up here, so we can see our RPMs. I'm switching through the menu button, so 3,700 RPMs, and boy, is there a lot of vibration in the seat right now. But we're gonna get this thing out on the freeway, through some city, and then up into some beautiful twisties for you guys. Gonna give you guys a variety of riding, you know, on road types. So we're gonna get into this torque real quick. Into here. So sitting position wise, you know, I'm in a kind of a saddle seat. So very nice, actually comfortable now. My legs are kind of up into kind of a standard chair position, so not too bad. My arms are really relaxed at kind of a elbow height, and my shoulders are just outside. So actually very comfortable riding position. Like I'm not uncomfortable with it at all. So very nice. Downshifts, and the shifts are very smooth in this thing. Obviously no quick shifter. Not sure why you would, but it would be nice. I don't know, you know, it comes from the sport bike, so. But obviously a nice big hydraulic clutch. Dual BMW brakes in the front. They're not great. I would have expected a little bit more brake, but not too bad. Again, I come from sport bikes, so bear with me a teeny bit. I don't typically not on cruisers, but you know, just over 90 horsepower, 116, I believe, foot-pounds of torques at around 4,000 RPMs. So big torquey motor, and really the horsepower is not incredible, but it's actually not that bad. Actually, it's really, when we get up into riding it, and then you'll get up on the mountains, you'll see it's really just it's all manageable. It's all a great manageable bike. So, you know, comfort wise and where we sit in the suspensions, just very nice and plush. It's very just, it's a beautiful cruiser, man. I'll say I'm not a big cruiser guy, as I said, but I don't mind this at all. Like, it's really nice. It's really nice. Let's talk about the handlebars real quick. We've obviously have our hydraulic clutch, or our hydraulic brakes. Nice window. I'm not sure why we don't have a window on the hydraulic clutch. It would have been nice to get a window on there just to kind of make it somewhat uniform, but it's all right. It's all right. The rear brake master has a little window on it also, and it kind of just that the whole chrome look. Lots of chrome on this bike. It's just, this first edition they made, just absolutely gorgeous. I was just talking with Zach and talking about the accessories for this thing. Tons and tons of accessories going to be available. Now, obviously, you guys, in the first edition is not a bike that we generally, you really want to, you know, this bike, you really kind of want to leave it be, right? The 100 years
almost of BMW. I think it's almost 70 plus years from the R5 model, which was the first model released of the boxer motor style. They kept a lot of the same things, you know, the frame triangle, so to speak, has really just been kept the same. The teardrop shape, the black paint, the black, you know, I believe it's shadow black metallic with this white double pinstriping. The open drive, I wish we could see the open drive shaft drive, because I saw it moving, and it's really, really cool to see that operating. So the heritage of this thing has just been, they really did a good job. 4 years in the making of this bike. And I'll say, you know, when I first saw the R18 renderings, I was all up. But when I saw kind of the final product, I was a little upset that they kind of did some of the things that they did. You know, with these big chrome intakes and the exhaust. I don't like the exhaust. I'll say it to the death. I don't like the exhaust. But I know that they're, you know, up against Euros and the Euro 4, Euro 5. I think this is a Euro 5 bike. It may still fall under the Euro 4. But, you know, the Euro style bikes, I know that they're fighting with sounds and stuff like that. So it's tough. It's tough that they've got to fight with this stuff. So the exhaust has got to be as big as it is. But again, back to the accessories. Not too bad. A little acceleration there. But back to the accessories, and me and Zach were talking about, you know, they've got this blackout kit that's going to be available. You've got these ape hangers that you're going to be able to outfit on your 2021 non-first editions. First editions are built this way. That's it. If you want to opt to change things, you can. I wouldn't recommend it. But Zach said he's got one that he's building right now with the big black ape hangers. All the chrome is black. 21-inch wheel, the non-spoke, so we're on a 19-spoke wheel in the front. But the blackout edition that he's going to have will have the 21-inch black wheel in the front, which is just going to be super, super rad. And then, of course, everything is all kind of blacked out. I think, so back to the original renderings and how they did it now. Is seeing this in person, if you guys are like some of those people that saw the original rendering kind of like I did, and you see the bike now and you're like, it's all right. It's all right. I like it. I think they did just enough of the chrome and the black. I think it really marries together. The bike's, you know, geometry is wonderful. It's something that, you know, back out on the freeway, it was really, really nice. But up here in the twisties, it's going to be just as nice, because we're going to be able to get up into a little bit more twisties. And the bike is just very well balanced. Right now, it doesn't feel like the bike is 700, and I believe the exact weight is 761 pounds, but I may be a pound or two off. But to be able to push that with under 100 horsepower, but over 100 pound-feet of torque is real nice, because right now I'm in that torque, so I'm able to accelerate, and it just pulls me right out to some upper RPMs where we've got some a little bit of horsepower to push us. The sound of the bike is very, you know, it's very cruiser bike style. It really doesn't sound like a boxer. It's actually quite funny. But I think if you guys get some of the accessories, Vance & Hines is working with BMW on an exhaust for this thing, and I think now you're going to hear that kind of. I describe it as like a plain engine. My R9T Racer, we'll talk about this in a second. I have an R9T Racer. I also have an HP2 Sport. Again, we'll talk about that in a second. But the motor sounds very much like that. So that kind of airplane sound. You get a little bit of it, but it's not. It's pretty toned down right now. So let's get up into 6. I know I don't need to be in 6, but just let's get the vibration down. And let's talk about the modes now. So there's 3 different modes, mode button right over here. So we have a rock, we have a rain, and we have a roll mode. So let's get into rain mode off the accelerator. And huge difference in throttle response. You've got more ABS invasion, more traction control invasion. So obviously we're intending to be in the rain right now. So you can see as I roll on the throttle, that initial hit is not as strong as when we were in rock mode. So rain mode is kind of your, obviously, rain mode, right? Get into the next mode, which is roll, off the throttle, back on the throttle. Now we've got a little less traction control than the rain, so it's less invasive, a little better throttle response, right? Everything is kind of like loosened up a little bit less ABS, a little bit less of the electronics. And then mode again, and then we get into rock mode, which we are going to stay in the duration of the flight. Now we're in rock mode, and now we've got that acceleration that's just there, right? And we have a little less, again, less ABS, less invasive traction control. So you've got a little bit more freedom out here. But I'm not sure the ABS and traction control is really to save you if you're really getting yourself into trouble. But I think it's good that it's got it, but I'm not sure that it's how necessary it is in a bike like this, because let's be honest, we're just kind of cruising, right? So modes over here, we've got our menu. Excuse me, those are our 3 modes, obviously. But then we have our menu buttons, so we're going to scroll through our menu. You know, we've got a tripometer, we've got a couple tripometers, we got a mile per hour, our voltage, our dates, miles per gallon, instant and average. We've got our time, and then back to our RPMs. So this is very much just like a standard, not R9T racer, which I have, but a just an R9T with a single gauge. So let's pull up into here. It's a nice little spot to give you guys a little look at this thing. And I really love the scenery up here. We're in the woods, and just beautiful redwoods. So this is where one of the big Sonoma fires was a few years ago. If you guys remember the Santa Rosa fire, this is where it was. It came through here. So let's find neutral. Let's get our blinkers off. Let's get our kickstand down. We'll go ahead and keep this thing running. Visor up to give you guys a little, oh, here, the rock, right? I just love it. All right, so just off the bike. All right, I'm not confident. So we're gonna get into gear because we're downhill a little bit, so sorry. Hazard lights, so let's give you guys a look at the blinkers in the front. And we have our LED running light, which is real nice, just nice and subtle. And then, of course, you know, if we flip on the high beams, now we've got obviously our lights on. And going around back to continue to look at the lights, we have very, very nice blinkers. And BMW this year is starting to integrate most of their blinkers. It's going to be tough to show you this, but if we can see, if I push on the brake, our blinkers are integrated into our brake lights. So very, very nice. Again, very nice that they kept this R18, or that they put this big, nice plaque First Edition out there for you. Again, this has got the rear, the passenger set pegs. I think this is going to be pretty standard, but it's like a $250 option. And then that beautiful open shaft drive. I like it. But again, the black and chrome, ignore the exhaust, please. Everything else, I love everything else except for the exhaust. Chrome cylinder heads with the chrome pushrod tubes and the chrome intake, which I like. This was kind of open in the original renderings, and I really liked how they kind of, in the original renderings, how they kind of left that big motor kind of open, right? I closed it down a little bit with this because this was all opening in the original renderings, but you still kind of get that big
boxer style motor, humongous motor, 1800 cc's. It does have a little window glass down here. Again, a chrome BMW brakes with the dual rotors and hydraulic clutch. What else are we missing? Oil cooler obviously down there. It is an airhead, so it is air cooled with an oil cooler. It is not radiator cooled. Correct. All right. I just want to make sure. But yeah, just absolutely gorgeous. Just really, really nice. And then when you get like this look, you get that, 1940s kind of BMW look with that teardrop tank. And then the rear, that triangle of the frame. Very, very gorgeous. So let's get back and let's talk about a little personal stuff here. So, power back on. That's nice. We had it turned off. It actually powered down by itself. So that's actually very nice. Oh, let's talk about one thing. One elephant in the room, BMW. Triumph did an amazing job on the Rocket 3 with getting all of the cables and everything tucked into these bars. What happened? BMW, please get this fixed. Outside that's the only gripe. Outside the exhaust, okay? But very nice. So, let's see. Oh, this bike does have hill assist. So very nice with a down or uphill. So what we're going to do is we're downhill and we're just going to go ahead and give the brake one quick pull. And we got the H, so we've got hill start. So we're braked. Couple ways to release it. Obviously, go ahead and release the clutch and the bike starts to go. Or just grab the brake again and it actually lets off. So very nice, and it gives you that warning coming off, and there we go. So hill start assist, very nice, especially on this 760-pound beast. All right, this isn't the greatest place to pull out, but I think we're all right. All right, and away we go. Beautiful sound out in the redwoods. I'm gonna stay on this bike all day if I could, but I can't. It's a cruiser, man. It's a cruiser. So I did mention I do have an R9T racer. I've always wanted to be into the boxer family, and when I started doing reviews on the Cali Moto TV channel, one of my first reviews I always wanted to do, I did not do for a little while, is I always really loved the R9T racer, and so I used to do some reviews over at A&S Motorsports, and they had one there, and I always told Bogner, I was like, I really want to ride that thing, and I did, and I fell in love. I actually bought the R9T racer that I reviewed. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll link it up above, the original review, and a few months later I went back and Randy still had it, and I bought the R9T racer, and I've loved it ever since. If you guys haven't seen what the R9T racer looks like now, I'll go ahead and link it above. You guys can watch what the R9T racer now looks like. Full custom exhaust by Boss Exhaust headers, and mufflers by Boss Exhaust, and full custom paint by Eddie with Shred Dog Hydrographics. So beautiful bike. Hopefully you guys will follow me because of that. And then earlier this year, about April, probably May, June, sitting on the couch one night, and a Boss Exhaust Instagram page, they had posted a picture of the HP2 Sport, and I said, oh, you guys are bad influences, because since 2010, when I bought my very first BMW ever, which was a 2010 BMW S1000 RR, I remember seeing one in the dealership, and I absolutely loved that thing, but just couldn't swallow the $30,000 bullet, right? And so
I always love that thing. And, you know, of course, in 2010, you saw that one in the dealership, and you never seen one again because there was only 62 that were ever brought to the United States. So it's a rare bike here in the U.S. at least. Now, back to June, Boss Exhaust. Thank you guys for being bad influences. You guys posted a picture, and I said to Bogner, I was on the couch one night, and I went up, hey buddy, and went up, and lo and behold, Gary Orr down at San Diego BMW had a 2010 HP2 Sport with 4,000 miles in just pristine condition, and called him the next day, and I said, hey Gary, it's Bill, interested in a bike you have. He says, oh, you're looking at the HP2 Sport, huh? And I said, yeah. And 3 days later, I flew down there, and yeah, I couldn't not buy it. The thing is in pristine condition. If you saw this bike, you would think it's a 2020. It's in that good a condition. And so I bought it, and I trailered it back home, and I've ridden it a few times, and I love it. So airheads are in my blood, I guess you can say. Not an old school airhead, but you guys, once you get kind of bit by that, it's there's that love. There's just the love of the sound, the love of the rock, just the love. So following this was very, of course I followed this, and I wanted to see what they did on it, and I think they did a good job. I think that there's a couple things that we could have changed, we could have cleaned up, but outside that, you know, I'm going to give this thing like a 9.5 because it's really very comfortable. I'm, again, not a cruiser guy, but this has changed my mind. This would change my mind. So if you guys are considering an R18, I don't think you'll ever find a first edition unless you can buy a demo, or once these are released, this is their demo. But I think all of the original R18 first editions are already pre-sold and sold. They're already gone. But in late 2021, I think mid 21, so we're going to be here 6 months away. We'll probably start seeing the standard R18s. And if you guys are interested in R18, this is the bike to get on and test ride, because if you guys are on Harleys, you're going to be upset because this might pull you away from that old Harley. It's not going to vibrate quite as much, and it's just definitely just has that old school, you know, reminds me of almost that, you know, again, 1940s Indian style, that era. They brought this back so nice. I mean, you know, but all of the modern, you know, things, like we've got a locking gas cap, but an old school gas cap look, right? The blinkers, right? They've got this nice teardrop chrome blinker, all outfitted in LED, excuse me. The headlight, all LED headlights. The taillights, the blinkers, the brake lights integrated, you know, so they've taken this thing back up to a 2020 standard, all integrated in a look of you know, 1940s, 1950s, you know, more 40s, I think, is that kind of original era. But, you know, BMW is almost coming up on 100 years of motorcycles, so very, very nice. Just getting ready to celebrate 40 years of a GS, which is super cool. I'm lucky enough to be able to be in my hands with helping Zach with his 40 years of GS event. He's one of the biggest GS dealers here on the West Coast, and one of them. I don't think he's the top because he's a small store. He can't keep them in stock, but he gets them in and they go right out of stock. So yeah, very cool to be able to be a part of 40 years of BMW GS, 100 years of BMW, just the you know, just going from here on out. It's just, it's cool. It's a cool thing to be a part of. I'm a big history guy. I really like history. I like old school. I really love 30s, 40s, 50s kind of things. I've got a lot of family stuff, and, you know, so I'm sorry, I know I'm not talking about the bike, but I just love it's all about that, right? That's the kind of person that's going to be on this. So let's get out on the freeway and get this thing torqued up a little bit. So we're right in maximum torque at 3,700 RPMs. Massive vibration right now. But then we start to get up into that horsepower. And let's get over here and cruising. Nice fuel light warning, so we've gone into reserve. So that's kind of nice. But 6th gear, 3,000 RPMs, cruising on the freeway. Beautiful day, getting ready to do a little sunset. What better way, you guys, just to be able to be here right now. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you guys have any questions, of course, comment down below. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and of course ring the bell notification. Hopefully we'll be able to get this thing back on the road. Maybe we'll do a long-term review if we can maybe get one from BMW. That would be kind of cool. Kind of cool to do a 2-up review on this thing with Bogna. Not too big of a back seat back there, but it is set up for 2-up, so it might be something that if we can get enough comments down below for a 2-up ride, maybe we can make that happen. I'm not sure if you guys hear much wind, but there is a little bit of wind right now. And doing all right. It's doing all right. Obviously, it's hitting me pretty good, but still comfortable, you know. The seat very much is a very nice saddle, right? So I'm kind of in this like little tuck. I will say when I'm at a stop and my feet are down, it's a little bit narrow in the front area, personally. But outside that, seat's pretty comfortable. I can see how the comfort seat is going to be a little bit nicer. I would probably opt to go with the comfort seat just right out of the gate. I would just get the comfort seat. I think this is 27 and some change inches, which is tons of room for anybody to go up to just over 29 inches on that comfort seat. So I don't know why you just wouldn't immediately put the comfort seat on. Not that this isn't very comfortable, but this is a bike that I would want to be on for a couple 100 miles up the freeway. So the comfort seat's going to be a little bit nice. And there is a low seat option. Again, not sure why you would need the low seat option. Down to just over 26 inches. So another inch. I'm not sure why we need to go that far, but if you need to go to a low seat option, this might be just a tad too big for you. Just saying. Very well balanced when we're at any speeds. Just at low speeds, it didn't feel like I'm sitting on a 700 and some pound bike. And right now, it just feels very, very nice. You feel it kind of on the initial pickup, but outside that, I mean, it's just, you just don't feel it. You just don't feel it. So very smooth. Clutch is very smooth. I enjoyed the ride. I hope the footage doesn't come out again, because I would love to come back and ride this thing one more time. Let's go ahead up here and let's go ahead and give you guys hill hold, pull, hill hold. There we go. Off and kickstand down. Nice big kickstand. Nice. So when it's coming over, very feels very confident putting this big bike over on that kickstand. So power off, and here we are, the 2021 BMW R18 with the 1800cc motor. Now R18 obviously symbolizes 1800 cc's, so I like it. I like it a lot, you guys. I really do. So, as usual, please, if you guys have any questions, Eurocycle Sonoma, Zach can take care of you guys. He's got some of these on order coming in that are not going to be the first edition. So hit him up if you guys have any questions. Eurocycle
Vegas also has some stuff coming with the BMW, so if you guys are interested down in the Vegas or LA area, you can hit them up. But again, Eurocycle, thank you guys so much for letting me come out and ride this thing. Questions, comments, please mark them down below in the comment section. Do everything like the normal, like, subscribe. We appreciate all the help, but very nice. Love it, love it, love it, love it. 9.5 on my Richter scale. You guys are gonna love it, and if you guys are lucky enough to get the R18 First Edition, enjoy this bike. But until next time, we will be back here for more reviews coming up soon as we can get some bikes. There's a K1600B that I've got my eye on, so stay tuned for that review, and we'll see you guys next video. Bye, guys.